Imagine a massive, heavily muscled guy stepping onto a wrestling mat. He moves serious weight, a 140-kilo bench press and a 220-kilo squat. By traditional standards, he's as strong as it gets. But the second a seemingly skinny Dagestani wrestler gets a hold of him, all that muscle loses its utility. Within seconds, the bigger man is airborne, entirely neutralized and planted onto the mat. The problem with standard fitness logic is the environment. Traditional lifting happens in a highly engineered setting, complete with flat floors, straight vertical lines, and perfectly balanced weights. This diagram shows the gap between gym training and a real fight. While lifting relies on predictable motion, an actual grappling match is completely asymmetric and built around a resisting human structure. Dagestani fighters dominate because they do not spend their early years learning how to push dead weight. They train to master human geometry, starting with absolute control over their own body. Look at almost any standard athletic program, and you'll find the movements happen either standing straight up or lying completely flat on a bench. But an actual grappling match rarely stays upright. Fighters spend most of their time locked in these low, scrambling, forward-leaning stances. To thrive down there, Dagestani wrestlers spend a massive amount of their conditioning doing unorthodox movements like bear crawls and duck walks, forcing their bodies to generate power from deep, awkward angles. Operating in that low-level scramble exposes a major physical vulnerability, the human neck and spine, which are constantly under attack from the opponent. To protect it, they perform the wrestler's bridge. You push your hips up, roll onto your head, and force the muscles of your neck and back to hold your entire body weight in an arch against gravity. Walk into any training room in Dagestan, and you will see mats filled with athletes uniformly enduring this exact position. By repeatedly exposing their spine to this extreme, uncomfortable pressure, they take their greatest structural weakness and turn it into a heavy, offensive weapon. Standard powerlifting relies on stiff, rigid bracing, but when a scramble breaks out on the mat, you need fluid, instantaneous adjustment to survive. They build this through movements like the Hindi push-up. Instead of a rigid up and down motion, the chest dives forward and the spine extends, forcing every muscle group to fire together as a single flowing unit. Then they escalate to advanced variations like the one-arm push-up or the one-legged pistol squat. These eliminate your balance, forcing the core to lock down instantly to keep you from collapsing. This chart shows the philosophy behind their endurance. A massive peak of strength that drops to zero will lose against a slightly lower but infinitely sustained output. So instead of piling heavy weights onto a barbell to find their 1-rep maximum, they perform bodyweight squats in grueling sets of hundreds of repetitions. And all that endurance means nothing if you can't hold on to the other guy. If your grip fails in a fight, you lose. They build unbreakable grip endurance with the towel pull-up. Hanging directly from fabric rapidly torches the forearms, building hands that simply do not let go. These dynamic, high-volume exercises ensure the Dagestani fighter remains lethal, balanced, and composed, long after a purely gym-trained athlete has completely gassed out. Modern barbell training is undeniably the fastest way to build large, visible muscle mass. This graph shows how muscle tissue adapts to load much faster than the tendons and ligaments supporting it. If you keep pushing heavier weights onto that unevenly adapted system, the gap widens until the structure fails entirely, causing severe tears and injuries. The Dagestani approach sidesteps this by relying on extreme bodyweight movements that force a very different biological outcome. Take the Nordic hamstring curl. You lock your feet in and slowly lower your entire upper body to the floor, fighting gravity inch by inch, using nothing but your hamstrings as the braking mechanism. Because this movement relies entirely on the body's natural weight and leverage, the muscles, tendons, and ligaments are forced to strengthen and adapt synchronously. Dagestani training forges the human body into an integrated, unbreakable network, capable of dominating the chaos of a fight.